Trump reacts fiercely as Canada slams the door on U.S. trade access. In a stunning development, shaking the pillars of international trade and diplomacy, Canada has officially taken a bold and unprecedented step by blocking key avenues of U.S. foreign market access, and the reaction from former President Donald Trump has been nothing short of explosive. According to senior officials, this decision marks one of the most aggressive trade policy shifts in modern North American history, catching many in Washington off guard and prompting a flurry of emergency meetings among U.S. economic and political leaders. While Canadian authorities describe the move as a necessary defense of national interests, Trump has labeled it a massive betrayal and a disaster for American business. So what exactly happened, and why does it matter? Canada's new policy effectively restricts U.S.-based companies from accessing several international trade channels that operate through Canadian ports, financial hubs, and cross-border partnerships. These are not small policy tweaks. We're talking about billions of dollars in goods and services that previously flowed freely across borders, now facing tighter regulations, additional tariffs, and even outright bans on certain sectors like agricultural exports, pharmaceuticals, and tech services. The move appears to be a calculated retaliation against what Canadian officials view as years of unfair and unpredictable U.S. trade behavior, much of it stemming from the Trump administration's tariffs, trade renegotiations, and economic pressure campaigns during his time in office. In an impromptu press conference, Trump erupted over the decision, saying, "This is Canada stabbing America in the back. We gave them everything, defense, trade, protection, and this is how they repay us?" He went on to accuse Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of playing political games at the expense of hard-working American families and small businesses. According to sources close to Trump, he was furious that current U.S. officials didn't anticipate this move, and he's already begun rallying his base with promises to hit back hard, economically, diplomatically, and politically. But while Trump may be the loudest voice reacting to Canada's decision, economists are taking it very seriously too. The U.S. and Canada share one of the largest trading partnerships in the world. Each country is the other's top export market. The disruption of this relationship isn't just about politics, it's about real people, real jobs, and real consequences. Experts warn that this could lead to increased prices for American consumers, reduced options for exporters, and even long-term damage to industries that rely on North American supply chains, from automakers to dairy farmers. At the heart of the tension is a growing sense that Canada, like many traditional allies, is recalibrating its relationship with the United States, moving away from dependency and toward regional self-reliance. In recent months, Canada has signed several new bilateral trade agreements with European and Asian partners, reducing its reliance on U.S. exports and imports. And with rising nationalism on both sides of the border, many experts believe we may be entering a new era of North American trade, one marked not by partnership, but by rivalry. Trump's supporters have seized on the moment, framing it as a warning about what happens when America appears weak on the world stage. They never would have done this if I were in office. They're taking advantage of Biden's silence, and the American worker is paying the price. Meanwhile, Trump-aligned lawmakers are already drafting retaliatory proposals that include new tariffs, stricter immigration enforcement at the northern border, and pressure on U.S. companies to pull operations out of Canada entirely. On the other side, Canadian officials have pushed back strongly against the criticism. A spokesperson for the Canadian Trade Ministry said, "This is not about retaliation, this is about fairness. For too long, Canadian businesses have been put at a disadvantage by U.S. trade practices that shift with every election cycle. We are asserting our right to stability, predictability, and mutual respect." They insist the move is not anti-American, but rather pro-Canadian, and argue that Washington must return to the negotiating table with more respect and consistency. What happens next could define North American trade for the next decade. Will the U.S. retaliate, escalating tensions and pushing the continent toward a full-blown trade war? Or will calmer heads prevail and both sides return to negotiations to rebuild trust and cooperation? For now, one thing is clear. Trump's outrage has brought new attention to a trade relationship that was once considered rock solid, and his warning that more betrayals are coming may not just be political theater. With global markets watching, businesses bracing, and working families caught in the middle, This could be the beginning of a massive shift in how America engages with even its closest neighbors.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated with GlobalScope 360. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon.